Good day, students. Welcome to our video lesson. My name is Teacher Maritoni D. Pusag, your English for Academic Purposes teacher. And for today's lesson, we are going to discuss about structure of academic text. But before we formally start our lesson, let us first set our expectations. As we all know, you are now in the second semester and soon you are expected to write your research paper. And for a simple glimpse of what it is, a research paper is an essay in which you explain what you have learned after exploring your topic in depth. In a research paper, you include information from sources such as books, articles, interviews, and internet sites. You also use your own ideas, knowledge, and opinions. That is why basic knowledge about text composition and understanding text is important. So students, you have to take note that English for Academic Purposes or EAP program is an integrated skills program for intermediate to advanced English students who want to develop their academic reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills. In simpler terms, this subject English for academic purposes aims to help you in creating your well-written research paper. The lessons that we will encounter soon can help you understand the different type of texts and how to write them correctly. Yes, we will deal about texts. For you to understand what I mean, let us narrow down the topics. Let us first know what are the objectives of our lesson. Objectives. Define what is academic text. Differentiate non-academic text and academic text. And the last one, understand the common structures of academic text. So now, I have a question for you. What have you written so far? Have you ever experienced writing your New Year's resolution? Probably. How about your dream vacation? How about your daily life in a journal? Or have you tried creating poem for someone or whenever needed as a requirement for a certain subject? How about a title for your thesis? How about a reaction paper? So think about it. They are all piece of writing, right? But what do you think is their difference with each other? Do you think it is important to know the differences of pieces of writings to create a well-written text? Why? Or why not? Find out the answer. So now, let us begin our discussion with the word text, since text is very important in English for academic purposes. So text is defined as the original words of something written, printed, or spoken. It is in contrast to a summary or paraphrase. So we have two types of text. We have non-academic text and academic text. So non-academic text is considered as personal, emotional, impressionistic, or subjective in nature. Subjective in nature. Such writing is often found in personal journal entries, reader's response writing, memoirs, or any kind of autobiographical writings, letters, emails, and text messages. It uses informal language. On the other hand, academic text is defined as critical, objective, specialized text written by experts or professionals in a given field using formal language. Take note, formal language. Academic texts are more like the heavy main course, and more often, you need to be a critical thinker before you can fully understand their meanings. So, poems, skits, letters, compositions about your New Year's resolution, journal entries are examples of non academic texts. On the other hand, for academic texts, we have article, conference paper, reviews, thesis, or dissertations. Article, it is published in scholarly journals. This type of academic text offers results of research and development that can either impact the academic community or provide relevance to nation building. Conference paper. These are papers presented in scholastic conferences and may be revised as articles for possible publication in scholarly journals. Third, reviews. These provide evaluation or reviews of works published in scholarly journals. And last one, thesis or dissertations, a book-length summarization of the doctoral candidate's research. These are personal researches written by a candidate for a college or university degree. So take note, students, that full concentration and comprehension are required for you to understand the key information, theme, or arguments of the text. So let us move on with text structure. So structure is an important feature of academic writing. A well-structured text enables the reader to follow the argument and navigate the text. So these are the common structures of academic text. Number one is the three-part essay structure. And number two is what we call the IMRAD structure. Let us find out. The three-part essay structure. It consists of introduction, body, and conclusion. The introduction. Its purpose is to clearly tell the reader the topic, purpose, and structure of the paper. It might be between 10 to 20% of the length of the whole paper and has three main parts. 1. The most general information, the core introduction, and the most specific information. The body. It develops the questions, what is the topic about? It may elaborate directly in the topic sentence by giving definitions, classifications, explanations, contrasts, examples, and evidence. It is considered as the heart of the essay and the largest part of essay. It expounds the specific ideas for the readers to have a better understanding of the topic. The conclusion. The conclusion is closely related to introduction and as often described, it is the mirror image of introduction. That only means if the introduction begins with general information and ends with specific information, the conclusion moves the opposite direction. It begins by briefly summarizing the main scope or structure of the paper. It also confirms the topic that was given in the introduction. It ends with a more general statement about how the topic relates to its context. We can also find here the importance of topic, implications for future research, or a recommendation about theory or practice. Take note that the introduction and conclusion should be shorter than the body of the text. For shorter essays, one or two paragraphs for each of the section can be appropriate. For longer text or thesis, they may be several pages long. So the next part is the IMRAD structure. So it is consists of introduction, methods, results, and discussion. It is often used in the research paper. So let us find out. So we have again the introduction. It usually depicts the background of the topic and the central focus of the study. The methodology, on the other hand, lets your readers know your data, collecting methods, research instruments employed, sample size, and so on. The resultant discussion states the brief summary of the key findings or the result of your study. Keep in mind that academic text typically considered as a formal mode of writing, intended for an educated audience. It is usually written in a third person or objective voice, and it depends heavily on research, factual experiment action, and evidence and opinions of other educated scholars and researchers rather than on opinions of the authors. So now it's activity time. For your activity, please read the directions. I will give you 5 minutes to answer the following questions. Or you can replay the video lesson to answer this one. And for your assignment, please familiarize yourselves with different kinds of academic text. Collect and clip sample article of academic text. So 3 different articles from 3 different examples of academic text. Observe how the texts were written and how it convey meaning to the readers. Take note of the following criteria. For clippings with design, 40%, and for your explanation and observation, it's 60%, for a total of 100%. So I hope you have learned your lesson for today, the lesson 1, and I hope to see you soon and continue learning. Thank you very much, students. Goodbye.